what is up, fantasy fans, comic book fans? As always, I'm Shay from the channel Zachary Shay, narrator of The Gallant by Janny Wurts. And today I'm bringing you my TBR for the month of August. It is noticeably lighter than what I did for the month of July. I'm moving, I'm starting school near the end of August. And, I'm looking to slow my roll a little bit on my book consumption and kind of get back into the flow of school and stuff and get my routine back down to what it was whenever I was, in university, prior to the summer. Man, summer went by alarmingly quickly. I'm pretty sad about it. I'm grieving the loss of my summer still as I'm currently in it. But so what will I be reading? Well, I've actually already started a few things. I don't have the physical copy, but I am currently in the middle of Carl's Doomsday Scenario. I'm in like the third or fourth chapter. So I enjoyed Dungeon Crawler Carl. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a great, fun yarn. I thought it was an enjoyable read. I'm not usually into gaming or gaming mechanics in other media. I detested Ready Player One. I did not enjoy that book much at all. And I don't really like when it feels like characters are leveling up. Big reason I didn't enjoy Wheel of Time, felt like characters were leveling up. I know a lot of people love that about Wheel of Time. That's why I'm hesitant to check out things like Cradle, why I was hesitant to check out Dungeon Crawler Carl. But Dungeon Crawler Carl is so aware of its tropes and of its mechanics and is able to convey these mechanics and these different lit RPG tropes in a very satisfying and quite frankly hilarious way. I think it's very comedic just watching, Donut and Carl talk about their different classes and races and different spells they can use and stuff. It's really enjoyable. It will probably never be like one of my top 5 favorite series like it is for a lot of people, but I do see myself continuing to enjoy the series. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to binge the series over the course of my semester. Who knows? They are all on audiobook, which really helps. But for now, I am reading Carl's Doomsday Scenario. I'm also smack dab in the middle of The Girl in the Mountain. I'm on chapter 13 of this. And yeah, I did not enjoy The Girl in the Stars as much as any of the first novels in any of Mark Lawrence's other trilogies. He's just created so many compelling characters. I mean, you have Jorg Ancraft, one of the most compelling fantasy characters of all time, in my opinion. You have Prince Jalin, which is kind of like the perfect exploration of the cowardly layabout type character. Think Jezeldan Luther from the First Law universe, but Jalin is a little bit more noble, and I think that's why I enjoy Jalin more. Plus, he's very comedic. Nona Gray, who may be my favorite Mark Lawrence character, is brilliant, and Nick Hayes from The Impossible Times, while not his strongest character, is still a really compelling character. Yaz of the Ichtha is not any of those characters. I did not find her that compelling in book 1. Book 2 is already quite a bit better because it incorporates many other perspectives than just Yaz, and I don't think Yaz is as strong as other Mark Lawrence protagonists. So I think the choice to bring in these other perspectives is a really, really good one, and I'm enjoying The Girl in the Mountain a lot more than I enjoyed The Girl in the Stars. Really compelling world. I just didn't find Yaz as compelling as, say, Nona Gray. I do plan on continuing a series this month, and that is Alliance Pride. I'm super captivated. This is the biggest in the series. This is book 4 in the Drowned Kingdom saga. Guys, if you have any curiosity about the Drowned Kingdom saga, book 1 was great. Book 2 was even better. Book 3 really solidified this series as something that I think should not be skimmed, skipped, passed over. This is one of the best self-pub series currently being written. It is phenomenal. And I personally, for my own reading tastes, really enjoyed book 1 and 2, but I didn't know if it was a series that I would recommend to everyone all the time. And Lord and King really put this series on the map as something I will recommend to people all the time. I've given all 3 books 5 stars, and the level of the 5 stars is different because each book has improved upon the last, but I think that this is some of the best first-person narration I've read in a long time. for fans of, Realm of the Elderlings and Sun Eater, if you like that first person that is just very intimate first person, as this character is and it is a flawed perspective, and Othruin is a flawed character, but he's still just a ton of fun to follow. Yeah, super excited to get into Alliance Pride. And then this is kind of the oddball pick of the month for me. I still don't know. I might back out of it. Who knows? I've heard it's not the best place to start in this universe. Everyone says start with the Horus Heresy, but I've heard that this is right up my alley, and this is Infinite in the Divine by Robert Rath. So this is part of the Warhammer 40k universe. Everyone starts with like the Space Marine stuff and all that stuff. This is about the Necrons, which are like these giant immortal necromancer god things. I don't know. I don't know anything about this universe, but everyone says that this isn't a great place to start, but I feel like if I've started Gardens of the Moon, which throws you right smack dab in the middle of it, it's not like this is like the second book in this universe written by Robert Rath. I mean, this is his first Black Library novel, I believe, or definitely the first with these characters. I think it's a standalone, so I think I'll be all right. I mean, there may be some things I need to look up, but I think I'll probably be fine starting with the Infinite and the Divine, and it just sounds like something I'd really be into. Darkly comedic, satirical. I hear that there's like a play that goes on in here, and it sounded right up my alley. And then I'm going to read a classic that I never read. I'm embarrassed to say that I have never read Lord of the Flies by William Golding. So definitely reading that. I read a lot of classics last month. This month I'm trying to be more into my fantasy sci-fi niche and into my comics. So one classic this month that I'm currently planning on reading. One more classic might make its way into the month, but right now it's going to be Lord of the Flies. And then as a buddy read, I'm going to read To Ride Hell's Chasm with my friend Tom Orange. Both of us are huge Janny Wurts fans. I've been making my way through Wars of Light and Shadow. I have one book left in her third arc. I kind of slowed my roll on that because I was reading them so close together. I still hope to finish her fifth book in the third arc before school begins, but I'm not including it in this video because that's only if I finish To Ride Hell's Chasm. This is a standalone. I really want to read it. And I've heard from a friend of mine that this is on the denser side for Janny Wurts, but that it's one of her absolute best. My friend Jake told me this. He was completely amazed by this book, and with it being a standalone and with it, from what I've heard, being on the denser side, I wanted to get it done before school started. So yeah, To Ride Hell's Chasm. I love this cover, by the way. Love, love, love it. And Janny has such a knowledge for like equestrian stuff. Like I've spoken to her many times over the phone, and her knowledge about like sailing ships, her knowledge about horses, her knowledge about everything she writes about, you can guarantee that her knowledge eclipses what you're reading by 10 times, tenfold. She's just done so much research into these things. So when you are reading about horses in this fantastical world, you know that it'll have a certain realism to it that can only be bought through experience. And then I'm getting to some comics. So I've already started. I got my little bookmark barely in it. But this is Omnibus 2 of Mark Waid's The Flash. I was so impressed by the first omnibus of this. Never been a big Flash guy. This made me fall in love with Wally West and with Linda, his love interest, and with Jay Garrick, the older Flash, and with Iris West, the lover of Barry Allen, the Flash who died in Final Crisis. Not Final Crisis, in Crisis on Infinite Earths. So this follows after Crisis on Infinite Earths, and it shows Wally, who was, Kid Flash in the Teen Titans. It shows him become the Flash, and Wally West is my favorite Flash. He's one of my favorite DC characters of all time. There's just an electric energy about Wally West. He's just like a golden retriever. He's not the smartest Flash. He's not the scientist that Barry is. He's just a bro, and he's such a sweetheart. And he's just got a heart of gold, and he really cares about people. And his relationship with Linda, I love it so much. And then I'm going to be reading JLI Volume 2. Love JLI. My only thing I didn't like about JLI Volume 1 is Wally West is in here, and he's characterized as kind of a playboy, which I understand he was a playboy before him and Linda got serious, but I don't like to think about that. I like to think about him with Linda. All right, I like to think of Wally the yearner, Wally the good boyfriend, not Wally the playboy who's hitting on Wonder Woman. But, you know, I just have to think about the continuity and just be like, that's not my Wally. This is just a weird phase for him. But I do love this series for characters like Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, Mr. Miracle, Big Barda. Guy Gardner's even pretty funny in here. Fire and Ice are amazing. So many great characters. And I really want to get to the end of the, J.D. Mateus, Kevin Maguire. Who else? Oh, Keith Giffen, of course. How could I forget Keith Giffen? I really want to get to the end of their era on the Justice League so I can dive into Grant Morrison's JLA and just kind of have a lot of the continuity knowledge to really, understand what Grant Morrison's doing with the Justice League, bringing the original 7 back. And it's also just so much fun. It's like The Office meets the Justice League. Who wouldn't want that? I have heard that the omnibuses decrease in quality as they go on. So like the first one's the best, then the second, then the third. So that makes me a little anxious to check out the third one. But it is a series I am committed to finishing, even if the third one ends up being a bit of a snoozer. So let me know what y'all are reading in the month of August. And as always, stay safe, guys. Peace.